morning, everybody. So today's title is Tough Times Don't Last, but Tough People Do. And that comes from a book you've all heard of years ago by Robert Schuller, if I'm not mistaken. I have a poem I'd like to start with this morning, and it's by N. Gill, and it's about mothers, obviously. The water of her womb was your first home. The body she pulled apart to welcome you to the world. The spirit in you she helped grow with all she knew. The heart that she gave you when yours fell apart. You are her soft miracle. So she gave you her eyes to see the best and the worst. You carry your mother in your eyes. Make her proud of all that she watches you do. And so it is. I remember when I was a young 20 hotshot salesperson, and we used to say, make it happen, make it happen. You're the ones, make it happen. And we were full of something. We were full of it, is what we were. We were full of excitement. We were pumped up. We were ready for anything. Well, thinking back, the excitement and the enthusiasm we had was important. But we weren't making anything happen. We thought we were. And we weren't doing anything really with willpower. Ernest Holmes, in our textbook on page 164, says it in so many words. Hey friends, we don't will things into manifestation. Our teaching is not about wishing and hoping for change, nor is it about manipulating life to do your bidding. It doesn't work that way. Our teaching, our use of principle or affirmative prayer, is to provide a way, a path, an openness within ourselves, an avenue, if you will, through which life can express. Deep and profound affirmative prayer opens channels up within you so great things can come forward. They've always been there. It's just the channels have not been open so you can have these things in your life. We, today especially, are clearing the way. Affirmative prayer expands the consciousness. It'll expand your consciousness. Jane Claypool said to me 20 years ago, spiritual mind treatment is the crown jewel of religious science. Affirmative prayer is what we call it now. It's the crown jewel. It is the thing that can open up the way, the blocks that you have within you so you can experience the God, the good. We're clearing the way. Affirmative prayer expands the consciousness and lets reality through. So we're clearing the way. Affirmative prayer expands the consciousness and lets reality through. I'm giving our technicians a chance to get caught up. As we center ourselves in this consciousness and continue with it, it clarifies our mentality. And it removes our old beliefs, our old tapes, our old stories, the hurts, the blockages that we have in mind and in thought. And through the grace, lets in light. It lets in light. When we are connected, when we're plugged into Source, there would be a slide here too. I apologize again for our technicians. When we're plugged into Source and coming from this blissful place of knowing, there is no doubt, there is no fear, there is no peace, or there is peace. We right now live in a perfect universe. It needs to be seen and felt mentally before it can become our experience. You know, saying it so doesn't make it so. It needs to be seen and felt. It's our experience when you can take it in and you can feel it. We must know and feel this connection, this unity, this power. Our challenges are largely mental. It's all in your head. So what we think and what we say and what we keep saying has a tendency to show up. It's all about the conversation that matters. Now, you'll hear me talk about conversations a lot. Every Thursday night, I'll say, what's What's the conversation been like this week? I'd ask Joseph or Seth or Jimmy. What's the conversation you're having with the most important person in the world? Because that conversation is the conversation that's playing out all the time. If you're a person who's engaged in, oh my God, life is terrible, it's awful, my life stinks, it's over, I'm too old, whatever your conversation is, there's not enough money, there's not enough love, that is what plays out in your life. What's your conversation like? Is it on high? Let's take it higher. There is you and your consciousness. Your consciousness is the thing that announces you. Your consciousness goes before you. Ralph Waldo Emerson, I don't know if I can remember the quote. What you speak, how does it go? What you do speaks so loudly I can't hear a word you say. Your consciousness precedes you. So let's take it higher. There is you and there is your consciousness. There is the sum total of your knowing. There is a journey that you're embarking here upon. It's internal. If you open the door, it's to a place of knowing and peace and a realization that you are safe and you are more than okay. You enter a place that's sublime and you are serenely unfazed by any kind of worry or care. There is a realization of God there in you, operating through you. All answers to all questions will be found there in spiritual realization. How fitting on this most wonderful day, Mother's Day everywhere. How fitting you are giving birth to a remembrance or an awakening in you right now. As you take in this deep knowing, I want you to honor it by saying namaste. Namaste to each of you as I look at you here and I look at you in the extended audience. Namaste. You are holy beings. You are one with the one. You are beings of light, majesty, wonder. You can't possibly truly understand the value of the people around you. For many of you don't yet understand the value you possess in and of yourself. Yes, you are children of God, one with the one. So as you go forward, if there are any fears, any challenges that are present in your day, in your consciousness right now, during this day, I walked out of the house this morning, I could see the brilliance, the sun, the beauty, and I could just think what a wonderful day it is. And yet I know that people will walk out of their apartments today and their homes and they'll have a different consciousness. Some will have a consciousness of fear and viruses and what's lost and what's not there and what they don't have and what health is not present, and that's really too bad. It's too bad to be coming from a place of not having health, not having an optimistic outlook upon life. You can go forward in a different way without fears. And when there's challenges present, you can see them differently. You can meet everything in gratitude. Life is responding and transforming you right now, giving birth to you on this new Mother's Day, like the most beautiful butterfly emerging. You're coming out of a cocoon where perhaps things were difficult, but we're always stepping forward to a greater place. A person cannot emerge from such a time with such challenges as we have been going through unchanged. We will be different, and most will be better. Most will be stronger as we learn more about our strengths. Upward and onward is the way of life. The universal intelligence, the presence, is always here and it's always responding to you. So we want to learn to be the guardians at the gate. What are you thinking? What is within you? Because my goodness God, it's presenting itself in your life It doesn't work the other way. If your life is about other people and talking about other people, viruses or news, I invite you to stop right now. In the name of love, stop. Turn off the damn television. Turn it on for whatever amount of news you can bear, and then find it within yourself to see the good in your life and in your situation. The universal intelligence, the presence, is always here responding to you. What do you dwell upon 24/7? Whenever we have challenges, and we all have them, I'd like you to remember our teaching. Remember our teaching when it's beautiful, but remember it when it's tough especially. And know that there is spirit acting as an internal guidance system in you. Yes, spirit is acting as an internal guidance system in you. I invite you today to partner with it, for spirit will not be the uninvited guest. If you bring spirit into your life, you will allow your consciousness to be transformed. You will have faith. You will open your heart and mind to it. Oh, the places you can go, you will go. You know, you just can't lose with this stuff. Ernest Holmes said, in so many ways, on page 273, whoever believes in spirit, whoever believes in source is operating from a much higher place than they know. Whoever partners up with this and knows that they're supplied and supported is operating from a much stronger place. Spirit, Holmes said, is specializing it for you through the law. If you were with us for any length of time, if you're tuned into our classes, if you can open your ears to hear, and you can understand that your life is your creation and no one else's, if you understand that you're caused your own experience, if you can do this, and if you can come to classes and participate and forget all you think you know and be in a new moment, if you can do this, I will say this, there is a divine intelligence in you that knows the answer, the right answer, all the time, and accepts it as being true. And you can repeat, there is a divine intelligence in me that knows the right answer. There is that which is within you that knows and always has and always will. The answer to any challenge is right there and then in your own consciousness, your mind, if you're open to the wisdom and the guidance that is within you. There is that within you that knows. You are one with this guidance and intelligence. It could never be any other way. Challenges, my goodness, we have them, right? They disappear if we dedicate our work to seeing them as opportunities. Everything that happens, if you see it this way, is not happening to you, but it's happening for you to bring you to a higher place. These things are great. Some situations and irritants, and yes, pain will remain in our life. And you wonder why. Well, it's a gift. It's there to teach you something. You've created it anyway. There is incalculable power available to everybody in this room and beyond. Incalculable power available if you choose to use it. Dr. Holmes said there is power for good in the universe greater than you, of which you're a part, and you can use it. But you use it when you say, this doesn't work, my life is crap, it's too late for me. Well, you're using the power. With every negative thing you say, it acts upon it and you get to be right. How intelligent is that for you to keep spinning the negative stories? You have not learned how to use your power, apparently. A great teacher said to me years ago, everything is teacher to you, Greg. Everything. All events, circumstances, and happenings properly understood are helpful. There is a gift for you somewhere here today. There's a gift for you every day in your life if you have the ability to discern, to see, to know, to understand that the universe has your back. It might not be enough to say, I release this, I release that. There are many things you can do. Being here on this Zoom call this morning, in this room, listening to the extended call on Facebook, being in our group on Thursday night where we challenge ourselves to change the conversation we're having with the most important person. We challenge that. We practice. We let go of the lesser ideas for the greater. We embrace the greater. We surround ourselves and we listen to some of the greatest minds that have ever lived. We commune with great thought so we can lift ourselves to places and out of places that we might presently be dwelling. There's no accident. Anybody's here. There's no accident you find a place like this. There's no accident you find a book like Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, which I've been teaching from for over 25 years. There's no accident to anything. You're in the right place, right time. Perfect place, perfect time, all the time. In our classes, you'll be reminded, as good as an affirmation might be, and they're good, I used to have them all over mirrors, walls, and refrigerators. As good as an affirmation might be, it may not be enough to dissolve a lifetime of anger and resentments and fear. You are much bigger than your problems or your challenges. You're always bigger than that. And yet that's all you talk about, is your problems and your challenges. Are you talking about the little bit of health you have and being grateful for it? Or are you talking about the health you don't have? Are you talking about the money you have and knowing you're blessed? Or are you talking about what you don't have? We're always bigger than the challenges. These challenges can melt away with better realization of your power. These challenges can melt away by elevating your consciousness, which includes your intelligence and your knowing and your skills, improving them all, and being committed to come from love and connection in all your encounters. For every encounter is a holy encounter, whether you realize it or not. Some of this requires maturing. Yes, as we mature, life seems to be ever more interesting and full of challenges of every kind. We are here, each of us, who are serious about this teaching, who are here to transform our lives. We're here to be the ones, at least unto our own lives, right? We're here to master what is possible and to grow and to express life. Again, we are here to master what is possible, to grow and express life. We are here to be the victor, never the victim. We have positive expectancies we practice this teaching and a consciousness of success in all things. We don't explain our life in terms of problems. Rather, we exclaim in gratitude what we have learned in dealing with life's many and varied lessons. And regarding our challenges, just for a moment, I quoted this already, but I'll say it again. It takes great wisdom to know that all events, circumstances, and happenings are transformative, are helpful. Everything you've been through up to now has gotten you to be the man or woman that you are. And you're stronger than you know, and wiser than you know also. And all of it has the potential, and has had the potential, to change us into wiser and far more compassionate people. Some of us who really practice our teaching, who day by day, as we become truth students in fact, and as we become practitioners, will see most things as positive and as opportunities. Sadly, most people will see it the other way. A lot of people will dwell upon the negative. They'll be glued to TV and endlessly watch the problems because, good news doesn't sell. So you endlessly watch what's wrong. Think what you're doing to yourself as you do that. In our teaching, going back to Matthew, I believe, Matthew 9. It's not a new idea. It's done unto you as you believe. I remember my mother's, one of her famous quotes, Mother's Day. She always said, it's totally up to you. It's entirely up to you was what she actually said. When I would give her preposterous questions, she was a wise lady. She will say, it's entirely up to you. And your life is your creation. It's entirely up to you. The universe says yes to you. So can you dream big enough? What container are you approaching the ocean of life with? Is it magnificent? Is it big? Because life fills you up with whatever it is that you can imagine and know to be true for yourself. Change and challenges are always going to be a part of life. Changes and challenges, they're a part of life. And if you want to be a super attractor, if you want to manifest a life that is beyond your dreams, if you want to partake of the great and the good and come from a place of real connection with the source, then never let challenges define you. Never let challenges define you or be an excuse for not making progress in your life. You can take a step. I don't care what you've lost or how bad it's been. I mean, I might care on a human level, but whatever it is, I can't fix that in you. You can take a step and make a step. You have overcome great odds just to be here where you are in your life right now. Knowing that you're supplied and supported is the key, along with a willingness to keep going forward. One step at a time, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, you just keep moving forward. You may not fully know this yet, but you are a winner in the game of life, every last one of you, to varied degrees. As we move forward, it's toward more self-mastery and greater joy. I say to varying degrees because some of you really understand that you have this gift and you're a partner with the Spirit. And some of you will move through mountains with that kind of faith. You will open pathways to good that are beyond your imagination with that kind of faith. And some of you will embrace a little bit of it, a little bit of faith, and your lives will demonstrate improvements to another degree. I'm calling on you this day, this Mother's Day, to open yourself up to know that you're supplied in such a way you can give birth today to a life that you have never dreamed of having before. As we move forward, it is toward more self-mastery and greater joy. We know everyone has challenges, and every one of us have the potential to help teach others and to lift people up and to bring people to a higher place of acceptance and change. Some will still tell me or talk about what they're doing wrong and how hard life is and what they're afraid of. I wish if I could wish one thing for today for everybody here is to let go of the fearful thinking. Drop it. Say, I release the need for it. I suggest you tune in on Thursday nights at 7. You know, I used to spend so much money for these classes, and I would drive so far. You know, you couldn't stop me from going to a class every week or a Sunday lesson. I would then buy the lesson, and I'd listen to it 2 or 3 times, and then I'd spend a couple hours every week reading. So I could take my consciousness out of wherever the hell it was into a higher place. I knew no one was going to save me. I still know no one's going to save me. But I do know that I can change my consciousness and change my life. If you're really a fearful person, or if you're really fearful, it suggests, according to Dr. Holmes, that you have a faith that is misplaced, or that you believe something can be opposed to the Spirit, opposed to God. God is all, ladies and gentlemen. It has no opponent. There's no one working against you ever except for yourself. As soon as you make it about somebody else and you go to the blame game, you're lost. As soon as you start opening your mouth and talking about anybody else, you've missed the mark. We create our lives. We're each 100% responsible for all of our life experiences. We know that everybody's doing the best they can with what they got, what they have. So why go there? Why go to the blame game? It's useless. You who are practitioners are about bigger conversations and more important ideas. We know God is all. We know there's no opponent. Let us remember this, and let us know that we are forever supplied and supported. We need to be better mothers and fathers to ourselves. We need to mother ourselves with the most positive thinking imaginable. And if we are to gently scold ourselves, it's only when we see that we have been too hard on ourselves or others. We're going to have a little music in a minute, and we're going to open this floor up to some wonderful sharing, because I know some of you have got some great stories about your mother's strength. And before I move on, and in summary, let us know that we are one with the giving one. And that one supplies and supports us, and it woos us, and the one that corrects and makes clear. We have an internal guidance system that's trying to reach us all the time. We are the one with that one. Tough times never last, and armed with faith and knowledge, the faith and knowledge that we each possess, listening today, well, I know you will do more than survive with this faith. You're here to thrive, and I know that is so, and so it is.